In this video, we're going to take a quick look at one of Ireland's 7 tries against Canada on Saturday in their World Cup opener. This is a two-phase power play from Ireland, really well executed, and it's a bit of a Joe Schmidt special, so to speak. The players will have taken a huge amount of satisfaction from this score, as well as the coaching staff. It's wonderfully mapped out and really well executed from Ireland, and it takes advantage of Canada's inability to get width and mobile defenders in their frontline defence on the way back from that first wide attack. Dave Kearney is the man to finish, although Mike Ross was a little bit disappointed not to get the final touch out on the right wing. So let's take a look at Ireland's first phase attack from line-out. It's a 6-man line-out and Paul O'Connell gets the ground to pop the ball to Conor Murray. From there, the scrum half hits Johnny Sexton at first receiver. Outside Sexton, there's a nice bit of midfield shape and movement. Luke Fitzgerald, number 12, arrives on that hard line, getting ahead of the ball and showing animation, calling for the ball. And outside Sexton on his left shoulder is Dave Kearney, who's also animated and looking for that pass. Instead, Sexton sends a lovely pass out to Jared Payne down the tunnel, and suddenly Ireland are attacking that wide left channel. Outside Payne are Rob Kearney, number 15, Keith Earls, 11, and the main target of this first phase, Sean O'Brien, number 7, all the way on the left wing. The ball has moved on, and Ireland aren't wholly concentrated on getting a line break here. It's rather just about getting onto the front foot through O'Brien, and using him on the left wing allows Ireland to utilise that power he has, and he boshes through the first tackle, gets right up into the Canadian 22, and Ireland are right onto the front foot, exactly where they want to be. We take another look at that first phase attack from behind, and you can see that movement in action. Murray sends a gorgeous pass to Sexton to launch it, and then the midfield shape ties in Canada's midfield defenders and just leaves O'Brien with a little bit of space on the outside wide left. Now, it's important to point out those three rucking players in Ireland's ruck, Keith Earls, Rob Kearney and Ian Henderson. That's their role. They've been specified as the men to resource that ruck, and they do so well. Now, looking at the second phase of the Irish attack, it's actually Jared Payne who's at scrum half position. Again, this is his role in the power play, and he sends a lovely pass to Conor Murray, who's in at first receiver this time. Outside Conor Murray are Heaslip and Paul O'Connell, and they run ahead of the ball again, just creating that decoy and tying down a couple of defenders before Murray releases the ball out the back door to Johnny Sexton, who's arcing out on that line from in behind Heaslip and O'Connell. Again, we'll get a look at that in action from behind with Payne as the scrum half, Murray sending his pass out the back door, and you can just see how O'Connell and Heaslip tie up a couple of Canadian defenders and create a bit of space in the midfield for Ireland. So moving on to the next phase of this little second phase attack. There's lovely shape outside Sexton again. You can see Heaslip and Paul O'Connell 8 and 5 in the top left corner there. They're already out of play and trying to block defenders as much as they can. Sexton takes the ball on and runs a loop play off Peter O'Mahony, who straightens the line really well. His handling skills are a real plus for Ireland, and they were utilised brilliantly in this game. Sexton loops around and then just slightly straightens the line when he receives the ball back. That's an important touch. And outside him again, there's lovely shape. Rory Best is a really key man in this try. He runs the straightening line in front of the ball again and blocks off a defender as Sexton hits Luke Fitzgerald, who's drifting wide right on that arcing line. Outside now Fitzgerald, there are 3 players, and it's looking really like a try, but Fitzgerald just makes sure by initially arcing on that right line and then straightening back up to tie in the final viable defender before he finds Dave Kearney. Kearney is facing a 3-on-1 at this stage, and the try is a certainty, but he just arcs back inside DTH van der Merwe and back out to score. We're going to take a quick look again from behind at how Ireland do that in midfield. It's a really nice shape. There's the initial blocking from O'Connell and Heaslip, the loop play, and then we'll see Rory Best arrive in and get a little nudge on a defender, just leaving Luke Fitzgerald with a 1-on-1 against the second row. He's always going to win that. Gets outside the second row, draws in Blevins, and then Ireland have their 3-1. It's brilliantly executed and wonderfully detailed from Ireland, and really encouraging going forward in the World Cup.